A pleasant day, everyone. In this lecture, we will discuss the productivity loss or productivity change method, commonly referred to as PCM. This is an important non-market valuation method used to estimate the economic impacts of environmental change, especially in sectors like agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. Let us clarify an important conceptual distinction in the productivity change method. In environmental economics, we use the term productivity change to describe any variation in output that results from changes in environmental quality. This means that productivity may either increase or decrease depending on whether environmental conditions improve or deteriorate. On the other hand, productivity loss is a more specific concept. It refers only to the reduction in output caused by environmental degradation such as pollution, deforestation, or soil erosion. Henceforth, productivity loss is a subset of productivity change. In most environmental impact assessments, we focus on productivity loss because it represents the economic cost of environmental change. While productivity loss is the negative outcome that is commonly measured in practice. Why value environmental impacts? Environmental changes directly affect human livelihoods and well-being. However, many of these impacts are not reflected in market prices. Valuation helps us make environmental cost visible and supports better decision making, but particularly in policy formulation, environmental impact assessment, and sustainable resource management. What is the productivity change method or PCM? The productivity change method is a non-market valuation method that measures the economic value of environmental change by looking at how it affects the productivity of goods that are sold in markets. Instead of pricing the environment directly, PCM values the change in output caused by environmental degradation or improvement. Let us have an example in agriculture. Suppose a forested watershed upstream helps maintain soil quality and water supply for rice farms downstream. Due to deforestation, soil erosion increases and irrigation water becomes muddy, affecting productivity. Now, how to determine the productivity change on that scenario? There are several steps that we have to observe. Number one, identify the environmental change. Second, measure change in productivity. Third, apply market prices. Fourth, compute economic loss. Fifth, interpretation on the PCM result. Now, let us start with the step one. Identification on the environmental change. Simply determine the specific change in environmental quality, such as environmental change as to deforestation, causing soil erosion and poor water quality. Likewise, the affected ecosystem service as to soil regulation and water regulation. And the sector affected thereby is the agriculture. The second step is measure change in productivity. Quantify how the environmental change affects physical output, like the rice yield before degradation. The farmer produced 5 tons per hectare. After degradation, the rice yield now have produced only 4 tons per hectare. So obviously, there is a productivity loss of 1 ton per hectare. For step 3, this time we have to apply the market prices. Suppose the market price of rice is 55,000 per ton or 55 pesos per kilo. That is now the market prices, and we have to compute that as to the economic loss. So if the loss per hectare is 1 times 50,000, then 50,000 per hectare per year, the economic loss. Suppose there are 20 hectares that are affected by such situation. Therefore, if you have to compute that or multiply that by 20, there would be more or less 1.1 million per year. That's the annual loss in terms of economic loss. The core concept of PCM. The environment is treated as an output to production. When environmental quality declines, such as soil fertility, water quality, or air quality, productivity declines as well, right? This reduction in output represents an economic loss that can be valued using market prices. If the environment changes, of course, productivity changes as well. When is PCM applicable? It is applicable when environmental services support economic production. When the final output has a market price, and when the physical impact of environmental change can be measured. This method is commonly applied in agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and even labor productivity affected by population. Let us have another example in agriculture. In agriculture, environmental degradation such as soil erosion or pollution can reduce crop yields. And that is a common understanding to all of us. PCM estimates the difference between production before and after environmental change. This loss in yield multiplied by the market price of crops represents the economic cost of environmental change. In fisheries, for example, the loss of mangroves or water pollution can reduce fish stocks. As a result, fish catch declines. PCM values this reduction by using the market price of fish, translating environmental degradation into lost income for fishers. Another one in forestry. Forest degradation can slow tree growth and reduce timber volume. The resulting decrease in harvestable timber represents a productivity loss. In this case, PCM captures this loss by valuing the reduced output using timber market price. Within the total economic value framework, PCM captures indirect use. It measures how ecosystems support production, but it does not capture non-use values such as existence or bequest values. In environmental impact assessment, PCM is used to estimate economic damages caused by development projects. It supports cost-benefit analysis and helps justify mitigation, measures, or compensation for affected communities. There we have an example of mining or road projects affecting farm or fisheries. One strength of PCM is that it uses actual market data, making results easier for policymakers to understand. It also provides a direct link between environmental quality and economic performance. Like any other tools, PCM has limitations also. It requires reliable data, can be difficult to isolate environmental effects from other factors, and does not capture cultural or non-use values. As a result, PCM may underestimate the total value of ecosystems. To summarize, the productivity change method values environmental change through its impact on productivity. It is most useful in sectors like agriculture, fisheries, and forestry, and it works best when combined with other valuation methods for more complete assessment. Let's have some activity exercises. A farming community depends on a river system for irrigating its cornfields. After the construction of an upstream industrial facility, water quality deteriorated due to increased sediment and chemical runoff. As a result, the average corn yield declined. Before the environmental degradation, farmers harvested an average of 6 tons of corn per hectare per year. After the change in water quality, yields dropped to 5.2 tons per hectare per year. Let's have another activity. A development project is proposed near a mangrove and agricultural area. Community members are concerned about possible impacts on fish catch and crop yields. Using the productivity change method, explain how environmental change can affect productivity in both fisheries and agriculture. Classify the resulting values within the total economic value framework. And last, evaluate the strengths and limitations of using PCM alone in environmental decision making. In answering those questions as our activity today, write your answer in the comment section for question number 1, while for number 2 question A, B, C, write and submit it through the BBLMS. Thank you and